Saturday Social is powered by FIFA 22 with PlayStation.
Joe, only one place to start, really. Man United. What happened last week, mate?
Yeah, I mean, less said about it, the better. Obviously, what I would describe as probably the worst result in Man United's Premier League history.
I was going to ask you that.
Worst result in my lifetime.
Let's talk to you as a United fan. You obviously had the 6-1 to Spurs, 6-1 to Man City. This is the worst result in Premier League.
It was worse.
Ever.
I think contextually as well, the quality of that squad, the quality of the team, to be 4-0 down at half-time, then the red card, then it was almost like Liverpool just toying with us because it could have been a brutal score. It could have been 8, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I would say up there with the worst performances I've ever seen in Premier League history.
Wow, OK. We did get a lot of people talking on social media, a lot of people talking about the players, about Ole as well. Sky Sports put this out on Instagram. This was a few days after the result, just confirmed that Solskjaer expected to remain as Manchester United manager. Of course, he will be in charge. Big game tonight, isn't it? It's the fixture that separates Joe and myself. But I'm quite nervous about this as a Spurs fan because I think that United are going to have a bit of a reaction. But you're quite nervous as a United fan. It's quite weird.
I'm not even nervous. I'm not even nervous. I already just kind of accepted that we're going to lose tonight. We're just in such a bad run.
I've not got a good feeling either, weirdly. But yeah, Spurs, Man United, Saturday night football. So you're going to explain what we're going to do here? We've got a bit of a tier list, aren't we?
We've got a tier list king in the building, haven't we, in James Allcott? This man does more tier lists.
I love that. Yes.
Does more tier lists on his YouTube channel than I've ever seen before. An absolute tier list king. So today we've got a Manchester United special. We're asking James how to fix Manchester United. We've got 15 managers in front of him, the favourites with the bookies, the 15 favourites. I'm going to ask James to put them into tiers, A being the most suitable, perfect fit for Manchester United, E being the worst possible fit. Pi, you're going to react to him, give him a bit of banter about what and where he's placing these names. And we're going to start with the man who's currently in charge, because he is still in charge. We've got to put a bit of respect on his name. It's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Believe it or not, where you put him, James, and why?
So, yeah, I mean, possession is 9/10 of the law, isn't it? So I think the thing with him is, last week, I think everyone now believes that it's over. We're just not sure when, right?
Yeah.
But with that, allows for time, maybe a great victory against Spurs, and maybe things change a little bit. Maybe you beat Atalanta, then you're on a run, then it's Man City, another victory there, and hang on a minute, this team's going places. So I think it's up for grabs. It's down to him. He's had a week with the players as well, Joe. So tactically, I'm sure they're very well coached now.
Really
Solskjaer, I'm going to put him in C. It's a good starting point for us. Because
Jack,
over your
thoughts? Worth pointing out, this is obviously who can fix Man United. He is still the current manager, so it's worth putting some respect. He's still there. Your thoughts on him in C?
Yeah, way too high. Way too high. Yeah. I mean, obviously, he's a Man United legend, right? But from my opinion, from a neutral standpoint, I don't think he can take him any further. They have got world-class players around the pitch, and I know a lot of them will say, we don't have a defensive midfielder, but a manager that's good enough can work around certain positions not having the greatest of quality, right? And the fact that they're where they are at the moment in the Prem, after the start they've had, with the players they've got, I just think it shows that he isn't good enough to take them to that elite level, right? Because they should be up there. They should be up there with the players they've got.
So where would you have him? D or E?
Probably D, only because a bit of respect on him. But I wouldn't put him in E. But I think C's a little too high.
OK, so that is the first name. Obviously, still current manager. So if the job were to become available, we've got some other names. They're in no particular order, these, but they're all people that have been linked with the job if it were to become available. Next up, you've got, I think I can see Antonio Conte there. Where'd you put him?
Antonio Conte, I think he is one of the front runners. He's world-class as a manager, there's no doubt about that. The problem I have with him is I don't think he fits Man United as a club.
Why?
Because, well, tactically, I've seen people looking at a formation where they play 3 at the back, which I know he loves doing. I don't think that works because you've just bought Jadon Sancho, you've got all these players. I mean, that's another conversation when we dive into Ronaldo and if he should be playing, if they should have bought him, all those different bits and pieces. I also think, is Ronaldo and Conte going to get on?
It'd be blockbuster to watch at least, wouldn't it? It would be blockbuster to watch.
But he's a wonderful manager.
Yeah.
He's a wonderful manager and he does get success and he can deal with those high-profile jobs. So I could understand them doing it. Would it work long term? I'm not sure. I'm going to put him here,
You're going to put him B?
Because he's just such a
There was
good
that famous game, wasn't it, where Chelsea lost to Arsenal and then he changed the formation after that game. They went on to win the league. Obviously, you've seen the success he's had in Italy and here as well. A lot of people saying the longevity might be an issue in terms of how long he stays at clubs. Pi, Conte and B?
Yeah, I think you could put him in A. I think because of I would say, limited world-class managers, say, available, that's why I would put him in the A category, because I don't think there's many. But I think he is one of them. Just on what he's won in the past, doing well at Inter last year, and you've got to think, no disrespect to that Inter squad, they've got a lot of quality players, but the quality that United will have...
They had half the United squad in there.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that he's managed to win the league with probably a team that isn't the best team in that league. And now, if he were to get the Man United job, he's probably going to have... I still think on paper, Man United probably do have... maybe second in the league in terms of strongest squads. They still have got ridiculous
I
players.
certainly think that he's probably, of available managers, some of the other managers are employed that we're going to talk about, is probably the best available option.
Yeah. Do you?
Yeah.
Best available option.
Best available option.
Okay.
I think there's other managers that might be
He's
better
not
fit.
the guy, though, and that's why I'm not...
Okay,
the guy is in
Let's
here,
go to the next one.
He's not the guy for me. Next one is Pochettino.
Oh, what a man.
What a manager.
Yeah, great man, great smile. Great hugs, I've heard.
Smithy loves it. Smithy can't get
I've worked with him a few times. Just great guy.
Name drop there. Just pick that one up for you there.
Sorry, name drop. Yeah, anyway, it's your item. You carry on.
I think, look, I love him as a manager. I think he suits the Premier League brilliantly. Does he suit the squad right now? Possibly. Will he leave PSG? If it's is it likely to happen? I don't see that happening. I guess that depends on if PSG kind of pull the trigger with him. Because I think it's very difficult to look good at PSG, weirdly, just because they've just got such an embarrassment of riches. But he's a great manager as well. He's not the guy, though. He's not the guy. Ooh. So he goes B as well.
Oh,
yeah, I love Poch. A bit like a bit of Spurs,
Conte.
So I do.
You've got a bit of Spurs.
Yeah. For Spurs.
Unfairly, I do like Spurs. I mean, he was unfairly, I think, treated there, considering what he'd done, getting him to the UCL final. And the thing is, as well, it takes a lot of a manager like recently. I know the other night he subbed off Messi and they come back to win 2-1. It takes a lot for a manager to have to stand up and say at half-time, you might be our superstar. Obviously, I know they've got a load of superstars, but you might be relying on Messi, subbed him off, wins the game. That takes a lot, and so maybe he can deal with the personalities in the Man United squad. Yeah,
timing's everything a lot of the time, and that should have happened before. Maybe they've missed the boat with that one.
Yeah. Next one.
Next up, Potter.
Oh,
the hipster's choice. It
is the hipster's choice, and I can see some arguments, but I think that's a big step.
Yes, I agree.
Good coach, though, isn't he?
Great coach.
Great coach.
Watch the way that Brighton play.
Hasn't dealt with that scenario of being at a big club yet. As a catch-22 with that was like when you've got to make that leap at some point. I do like his temperament. I think he's quite quite calm in how he goes about it. I think there's a job in between before he makes that jump to Man United. Yeah. So it would be brave. Be really brave. I just cannot see it happening. To be honest, I might put it here just because I just can't see it happening.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess what's the criteria? Can he fix them?
Fit. Best
Good
fit. Best fit.
All right, I'll pop him in.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's a strong choice. The next one,
Yeah. Great manager.
How's he been linked again?
Great manager. Great record. He's got experience in the Premier League. He's been there. He's done it.
Literally.
Heard that phrase? He's been there. He's done it. It's David Moyes.
How is he being linked again?
Because he's wicked.
Great manager, but not right fit for Man United. We've already learned it.
I guess the one thing I'll say, they don't really press as a team, West Ham. So stylistically, you could do something there. I'd be blown away if that happens.
0% chance. In fact, there's a less than 0% chance.
That's not the criteria, Joe. Could he fix it? No, he couldn't. There's no way he could fix it.
Putting him in E,
No.
wow.
Yeah.
There's just no way. There's just no way.
It's just not
because
the right fit.
I think you know how it works. There's so much talk about managers when they're in the job.
Yeah.
People pull at threads. The thread it's not even a thread. It's literally I don't know what it is. So it just wouldn't work.
Yeah, Jack, your thoughts on that? Obviously, we've got to give him credit for what he's doing.
What he's doing
They've
for West
knocked
Ham,
Man
incredible.
City and Man United out of the Carabao Cup. 1-3 from 3 in the Europa League. Going great for West Ham, but James has put him in E for the reasons he's explained.
Yeah, I agree. If we're doing it, we're not doing this on managerial ability, right? We're doing it on
the fit.
and therefore I think Potter should also be an E. Like he's doing great with Brighton, but the gamble to step up, there's not a chance, he's ever. Well, obviously he might do in the future, but you'd think he'd have to go to a bigger club than, no disrespect to Brighton, a bigger club than Brighton before he were to step up to United. But I don't think Moyes could ever go back to United after the way it was sort of left before. But fair play to what he's doing at West Ham. They're smashing it.
All right, next up, a man who won the Champions League in 3 consecutive seasons as manager.
This is a tough one.
This is a tough one. So this does make sense. Zidane makes sense. What a player, what a manager has dealt with the pressure of a huge job. The problem I have with him is Man United's midfield. I think he would want to control the ball. That's what he did at Real Madrid. He had Toni Kroos and Luka Modric in there. He wouldn't be able to do that right away, but the next signing for Man United is that player, surely, because it's so obvious. So if you get that player, he might be the guy who can sort this team out to deal with Ronaldo and get the best out of him.
Well, I want to get Joe's thoughts on that as a Man United fan. Zidane as Man United manager, what would you think of that?
I mean, it would be a blockbuster appointment for United. It's quite a United thing to do, isn't it? It's quite a United name, Zinedine Zidane. I'm not overly convinced about the fit for Manchester United's squad, to be honest with you. He also doesn't speak English, does he? Which I think is a little bit of a hindrance. I know Marcelo Bielsa kind of gets by as well, doesn't he, with his translator? But I don't think Zidane would want the job.
Okay.
So I'm not overly convinced.
I think I still put him. He's in this tier for me.
Yeah.
Like quite literally.
If you could get him, then he'd be an alright option. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got that star power as well, which I think will excite the fans. I always think that's such a big part of it, like what all the sort of discourse around it, and people would be excited by it. Man United fans would be excited by it.
We're going to have to fly through a few here, I reckon.
Yeah, let me fly through it. So, Roberto Martinez, I think he gets a lot of stick. I actually really like him as a manager, but this isn't going to work out, I don't think. You know, they'd eat him alive. I think everyone would eat him alive. I think it just wouldn't happen.
Jack, go on, your face was a picture
yeah,
then.
I just think Belgium have a potentially golden generation that's not really being utilised. They've got a lot of quality players. They've got a lot of youngsters coming through and a lot of quality in that squad. And I think Belgium have never been that team. They've always been the ones on paper that have looked ridiculous. And as a squad, they just can't seem to... And he's at the helm. So for me, I would think nowhere near Man United. If you can't get a team that's already got quality to work on international level, then, you know, going into like a squad like Man United, for me, no chance.
They have been number one ranked team in the world, but I know what you're saying. The golden generation, in terms of age, average age of squad is coming towards the end. A lot of players.
Yeah, but the ranking
think that
system.
The World Cup will be their big opportunity.
Yeah, the ranking system as well can be deceptive, though, right?
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of teams that have been high ranked but haven't actually performed or won anything, and I think that's the same for Belgium. Is that they have got the squad to really be competitive, and I don't think they have been.
But haven't, yeah. Okay.
Who we got next?
So I've watched a lot of Derby this year.
Rooney.
And Rooney is a good coach. With Liam Rosenior, they've good team there, and they've had to deal with a squad that is really average. Yeah. And he's coached them really well.
I think they're unbeaten in the last 5, considering all the problems they've had.
Yeah, and they keep the ball brilliantly as well. He's a good manager. He's going to be a good manager.
But if we're talking about Potter's being a big 2 jump,
yeah,
I think
it's way too early, so we can go first. Good old Gareth. Gotta love Gareth. He will get. I think he'll get a big job at some point. I think he'd be good for Spurs at some point.
Do you?
I do. I really do. But Man United, nah.
The job he's done for England, though, by the way, unbelievable, isn't it? Fourth in the World Cup, third in the Nations League,
like Jack said, it is
second in the
different.
Euros.
International football
It is
Premier League
different,
it's so different working with a group of players week in, week out.
Oh, he did get us to the Euros final. So, I mean, you know, there's...
No
matter if you don't like his style, he got result. Well, I mean, I know we didn't win, and that still hurts, but we still got there. Like, he got a result effectively.
I do get a little bit Ole Gunnar Solskjaer vibes with Gareth Southgate, though. I think he's a really good man manager and a really good at getting a group to pull towards him and not have any toxicity in the group and stuff. But tactically, at the big level, in the big moments,
what he does off the field as well, all the cohesion,
exactly, which is exactly what Ole's done really well.
And to be fair to Gareth, like you said, the results that England have, England have finished in tournaments, comparative to where they've finished in previous tournaments and previous eras with other managers, you've got to say he's done a brilliant job.
It's the style, though, I think, isn't it, that Man United fans would not like. And it's the same as being an England fan. Gets the results, which is great, but to watch, you think, man, we've got these superstars and we're not playing in that fashion. I think that'd be the same.
All right, who's next up for you then?
Yeah. And this is like top 3 jobs in world football, isn't it? Top 4, right? Okay, Brendan Rodgers would be a good fit.
Getting
makes players better
as well.
Is he?
I think Manchester United, reports in the press are heavily pushing Brendan Rodgers.
Right. That's interesting because I think generally with Brendan Rodgers, often you think, he's really ambitious. Deep down, he wants these big jobs. But so far, he's kind of held firm in terms of going, no, Leicester, no, it's going to be Leicester. Would he be brave enough to do it again? I don't know. But would he be a great fit? I think I've got someone else who I think is just as good a fit. But I think in terms of making players better, coaching them, he is ex-Liverpool, though.
Ex-Liverpool.
Is that a problem? Not for me. I think he's...
Wow.
I think
he's A for you, yeah.
I think he's a special manager. I think he's proven that. I think he's got the experience, he's got the ambition, he's got the confidence in himself as well. I think he would be a really good option.
Pi, what do you think of that?
No, I agree.
He's got a great cup final record as well, Brendan Rodgers.
I love the way Leicester play football. They're a really, really exciting team to watch. And I think, considering the group of players they've done, what he's done with them is fantastic.
Do you know what the big thing as well is, right? He goes, Tielemans comes as well.
I think, do you know what I will say?
Really good team,
I think it is brave to have Rodgers ahead of Conte. Like, I think Conte, what he's won and what he's proven at the elite level with superstar players, to have him below Rodgers, I think...
It just doesn't fit for me. It just doesn't look right.
And it is Manchester United. It has to be fit for United.
Yes,
so.
I think that's important. And so the Liverpool thing might be a stumbling block with that. But I do really rate Brendan Rodgers. Always have that. But this guy, this is the guy.
I think
this is the guy. Eric Ten Hag.
Yeah.
Done brilliantly at Ajax. And when you're talking about the fit of Man United, Ajax and Man United, there's such synergy between those two for years and years in terms of academy products coming through. The important thing about, we're all disappointed with how he's coaching the team, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. This guy makes teams play well with the ball and, importantly, without the ball as well. And he's very calm, he's very professional, he's very intelligent, he's had a great schooling. I think he is the guy.
He's a bit more long-term, isn't he, than a Conte? Or...
Yes.
Yeah.
And he would allow, with all the sort of what Man United stand for, he fits the bill with that, because Ajax are very similar in that sense. So I think, if I wouldn't have a problem going like this and going, just go and get him, do it.
Well, he's changing it. You move.
I wouldn't have a problem doing that.
Do you think he would leave mid-season though? Because we've heard reports linking him with Barcelona in the past, and he's obviously
linked with everyone.
He's always linked
because
with
he's great.
Yeah, because he's
Spurs,
amazing.
and
he's worked, of course, with Pep Guardiola as well when he was in charge of Bayern Munich too, and Pep was in charge of Bayern Munich. So his schooling is second to none.
And dealing with a conveyor belt of new players all the time, understanding what they're like, getting the best out of them, that's something that he needs to come in and do quickly to improve that team, which has the personnel, but somehow hasn't hit the heights as of yet. And it feels like the gaps that he has, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he can fill those gaps.
You mentioned that obviously United needing a central midfield player. Could he bring... I know Gravenberch is super highly rated. He could bring potentially him through. I mean...
as a Pogba replacement. We'll get the best out of Donny as well. Of course,
we might see Donny play a game of football. That'd be nice. Yeah.
Okay, so he's the guy that James is going to... There's a couple of more, so let's just fill out the forms. Who you got next?
Yeah, I'm slightly surprised you printed that out. Eddie Howe. I like him. No way near.
Go on, explain why.
I agree with you, James.
Do I have to?
I agree.
No, I like him, but there's two jobs before he gets this job. This is Man United.
Can't even get a job in the Prem at the moment. And there's been jobs available in the Prem. There's been Crystal Palace has been available since it's been out of work. Newcastle's
I remember we had Howe there on the show, the Man United fan, a couple of seasons ago, and he said Eddie Howe could be the next
stinking opinion.
Man United manager. So it was just... No, it was just the quickness at which you put him in, which is why I was...
taking my time, haven't I? And it's rude. I'm sorry, Eddie. I'm sorry. I think of the jobs he's been linked with. Celtic, Crystal Palace. No disrespect to them, huge clubs.
Fine.
But not Man United. It's not Man United. Simeone. I mean, isn't that just... It's like a better Mourinho, but in terms of it feeling a bit ugly.
You're talking about the style of football,
and just, he's a bit of a villain, isn't he? And I don't think that fits.
And does he ever leave Atletico? Like, it feels like
he's been at Atletico since I think 2011.
I mean, he's the highest paid manager in the world. It's like
won lots of trophies there, but obviously a lot of other managers come up against him. You heard Klopp talking about the style of play.
They hate it.
mean, would, as a Man United fan, that style of play, or how would you?
I think it would be great, wouldn't it?
You're the United fans, Like United want to play.
Are you at a point as a Man United fan where you go, I just want to win? Are you there yet, or does it matter how you play?
No, I think it definitely still matters how United play.
And I think for that reason,
just look at like Louis van Gaal, for instance, winning an FA Cup, still sacked same season because the style of football was just abysmal. And Jose Mourinho
won trophies.
The style of football and the toxicity around the club was just shocking. So I would agree.
In terms of getting the job done, he's there. In terms of a fit for Man United, I think he's even lower. I think I'll put him C.
Yeah. Only a couple more left, isn't there?
I mean, great suits. If you've ever seen him with his top off, looks great there as well. Which isn't important, I don't think, for the Man United manager personally. Italy played unbelievable football. I quite like this shout. The Man City problem.
And it was a big rivalry, Man City.
I don't see it happening. I would put him there.
Won a lot of silverware. C for Mancini? Let's just get Pi's thoughts on that
I like him. It's the same thing with like Simeone, for example. Like I love him. I think he's absolutely great. But having him as your manager, actually having to watch that like style of football, it depends how you're orientated. If you don't care and you just want results, then you get him in. I mean, Mancini as well. He's magic, but it is the Man City thing is almost too much. But there ain't much loyalty in football nowadays, is there? So you never know. If the money's right and the opportunity's there, would he take it? I think he would if the opportunity arose.
Understandably, there's a perfect alchemy with Italy as well. Like, you know, it just worked, didn't it? And he looked great, and it looked great. They played great football. There's just that connection there with Italy. Would you have the same with Man United?
World Cup's only 12 months away as well. I think is an issue for
why
Manchester
would he?
United
Why
trying
would
to
he?
recruit him.
Yeah.
Also,
He's obviously
just won the Euros as well.
He's fancying a strong world. If he can win a World Cup with Italy, which is a distinct possibility given how good they were at the Euros.
And also, James has mentioned, I think, twice or three times how well he looked in his suit there.
Yeah,
so
I think it's important.
It's really important. Last name, who have you got? And tell us where you put him.
Allegri.
He's only just taken over at Juve, so I think it's a bit ridiculous he's even on there, to be honest with you. But
Who printed the magnets?
the fact he's been linked, I think, is more ridiculous than who's printing the magnets because he's only just got the job at Juve. But I'm just not sure.
I guess you might put him forward with the idea of getting the best out of Ronaldo as well. But yeah, it feels odd.
Yeah, especially given how much they're struggling right now in Serie A. Like, it's a turnaround job for him to try and sort that out.
If you take away context, he's here. Maybe if you really want to push it there, but with context, he's probably here.
Yeah,
if
there we
not,
go then.
Even lower.
I think that's a pretty good
So that is the completed James Allcott tier list for the manager of Who Can Fix Man United. Pi, let's come to you. Your thoughts on James's tier list. Do you love it or do you hate it?
No, I agree. I agree with most.
But do you
I'm
love
just trying
it?
to think. No, I love a tier list. And I think you've got Potter a little too high. Not against anything against managerial ability, just in terms of, you know, the fit. I think Rooney's too high as well. So once again, to me, that just seems... I don't think he's ready to manage Man United. I don't think anywhere near. Like, no disrespect to, once again, a ridiculously quality footballer and someone that is doing a job at a team have got horrific administration problems. But, you know, the Man United job is different to... Derby in the Championship.
So when I do a tier list on my channel, I always allow for one move. So if you allowed one person one move, up or down, what would you take?
I feel like down is a bit of a cop-out, right? If you go down, I'm just trying to think.
Got to be quick, Pi.
Nah, you've got to take Potter down, I think.
Okay.
I wouldn't put... Yeah, I'd honestly go E.
Yeah.
Those aren't the rules.
No.
There's only one rule. There's only one... Sorry.
That is the complete
Sorry,
tier
Graham, I
list. Anyway,
apologise.
Ten Hag is the man to fix Man United, according to James Allcott.